the bomb got dropped upon us all. And the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown. We'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. The leftover ashes in the sky, the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. Oh, we know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from.
Hello everybody, this is the Nameless One, and tonight we're getting back into the thick of things with the first Lost Memory stream of the year. I am here tonight with Argo, Cosmo, Bun, Fair, Cameo, and Moon. And before we hop into the recap, I just want to remind everybody, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, you know, all the good stuff. And I will be reading any super chats that pop up at the end of the campaign session for the night.
Wait, have you gotten any?
What's that?
Have you gotten any yet?
I got two, actually. Previously, I got one from Cameo, and then somebody else during the New Year stream popped in, dropped $20, was like, hey, I can't stay, but have a good day.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and jump into the recap. So, how many people actually remember what happened last session?
It's been a while. I remember we were beginning to actually start going towards the...
Was that... I'm trying to remember. Was it when I had the incident with... what was her name again? Sorry,
Muddy?
I'm not as well acquainted. Yeah, Muddy. Yeah. Was that time?
I did what? What did I do? Am I in trouble?
No, you're not in trouble. Yes, that was one of the things that happened. You guys did run into the storyteller. Moon found out he has a bootleg information network.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Figured I'd say that so that Moon remembers that Moon has Bootleg Information Network.
Yeah, because I asked about what's going on with our missing party members.
What's going on?
Actually, not you. You have to make it to the settlement first. So you were on the brink of getting there, but not quite actually, because you can't just ask something if there's nobody to ask.
Scream into the void. And see if the void answers. Your mic completely cut out, but like I heard that at full volume for the first like second. It was so good.
Did I not pin cameos? Cameo, can you reply to your newer calendar that you were making, or did you not finish that?
Let me look for it. It shouldn't be that far away because we just started it and we didn't even really do anything. It's right here. Oh my god.
Oh, that's right, isn't it?
We are at the month of March, and then next month will be the month of shit.
Up, I gotta pull off pins. Let me get that pin so that we can keep track of that. Okay. And I will go ahead. So I think that's enough information to get us started. So we're gonna say that it is morning now, and you are about roughly a day's travel away from. Because I don't remember the exact amount of time, but you're roughly about a day's travel away from where there should be I say settlement, it's more like a nomadic camp. It's one of the places that they rest at regularly during this time of year, according to Doc's information.
Okay.
So if you guys would like to go ahead and roll perception, and I believe Doc was the one doing survival for the plane survival.
Yeah, don't worry. Master survival expert.
I am waiting for you to flub this spectacularly now.
Oh, there we go.
You do not disappoint. Can you at least see things?
Oh,
Bold assumption.
Oh crap, I forgot the PR.
Don't worry, I was just rolling my D100.
That's a roll.
For massive damage.
Hello, Simrus.
Oh, greetings, Sim. Welcome to the first one of the year. Okay, so you guys, you start traveling, and you don't necessarily. Hold on. Let me double check. Doc notices nothing whatsoever. Nothing.
That's a nice nothing.
But let's see, who didn't roll? Bun, you need to roll perception.
Ah! Hold on. Where? Channel discussion. Wait, where?
Game discussion.
Game discussion. Lost memories. Fuck. Okay.
Should be the third one under the game discussion chats tab.
We just wait here for a minute. Wasn't quite expecting to use this one so quickly. But yes, so that works. So Doc is the only one that failed, and he failed everything he rolled.
Oof.
Unless, so Cosmo, whenever you roll, if you notice everybody else has the exclamation...
I realized that.
Yeah, if you do that, it makes it easier for me to tell who passed and failed, because I just need to know what your number is. We'll just keep the roll.
Okay. I'm trying to find it in my character sheet. Perception. Performance. 10. Survival. It's in skills, right?
It will be up near your attributes, actually. It should be the box next to like your health, intelligence, and all that.
15.
Okay. For your perception?
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know what I did to it, but apparently it is very high. So, you guys see all the things. Not exactly. So, as you guys are walking along, you don't necessarily see anything as you feel something. Doc feels absolutely nothing, which actually makes sense considering he's an earth pony. But, for the dragons, you feel a weird tingling sensation as you step through something. For the Kelpie and Bat Pony, it feels like you stepped through a soap bubble that didn't pop, but you made it through anyways. And for my deer, your vision goes a bit funky, and then it goes back to normal.
Oh, what was that?
Felt weird.
Did you all have an issue too?
It felt a little weird.
Or was that just
Hey, wait a minute. What about our local Fury? Look at she here.
Good question. Let me... Actually, I need to do this.
Guys, at one point I might just suddenly cut off, and if I do, that's probably because I'm screaming.
Okay, you sound like you're trying to talk through a blanket. Could you not? Or is that something covering your mic?
Give me a second.
So, Nebula says something about a soap bubble sensation akin to what the Kelpie and the Bat Pony felt.
We just went through a bubble.
Repeat what you just said.
You basically just had a sensation of like walking through a soap bubble that didn't pop, but you made it through the other side anyways.
Walked through something.
Interesting.
What the heck was that? Is there like a force field up or something? Did we step in something weird? What just happened?
Yeah, this was weird.
What are you talking about?
Would I know anything about this current area?
Go ahead and roll an area knowledge -4.
Alert.
I can do that. Was not gonna do great, but I could do that.
So you're unaware of things.
Yep.
So, what do? Do you A, continue forward, or B, find something else to do?
I vote we give up and go home.
Give up, go home. Where exactly is home?
I mean, technically speaking, that's kind of what you were doing for you, Fair.
Exactly.
I thought we were going home to Fair's home to gather people to get in better standing so that we can go rescue our friends.
Yes.
We stand no chance against going up against the FBC without continuing. We stand maybe slight better chance at the cave.
Maybe slight better chance.
Indeed.
So, continue forward.
Continue on, we shall.
So, you guys start walking again. And it isn't that long until sudden perception -3.
Okay.
Jesus, is everybody gonna pass this? Oh, wait,
Yes.
no. Wait. Is that a...
Stop looking at my roll.
He's just not passing anything.
Wait,
is he?
do we all have to roll?
Yes.
My brain is not here. I literally...
So far, everyone but Moon.
My perception is so bad I didn't notice I failed.
Damn it!
Let's just hope the DM's perception is bad as well.
You have to put exclamation. It's exclamation, not reason. It gives you the reason.
You're right. There we go.
Okay. So, Cosmo and Moon.
Hmm?
Go ahead and set a 45-second timer. You now blinded in character for that amount of time. Mostly because it's not a combat thing, so I can't give you a number of turns. But everybody else, you step through what appears to be like regular air into... For Fair, you almost recognize this as old Equestria. Although something just seems off and you're not sure what. Besides the fact that it went from wasteland to green grass.
Quite a change I wasn't quite expecting.
What change? I can only see the dark. I can't see.
No way!
Help, I'm being accosted!
Don't worry about it.
Dude, what the heck? This is so pretty!
Well, that's right. Cameo would also recognize it. I forget. She's one of the few surviving cryotubers that are out and about.
How's the darkness pretty?
Because it isn't darkness. Trust me, when your eyes adjust, you'll see it.
Okay.
It's amazing.
So, just for reference, why they're blind, there was a blinding flash that was what the perception was for. But
Like coming out of a dark room into a very, very bright area.
yes. It seems to be, despite the time being earlier-ish morning when you entered this area, it seems to be the midday to late noon. And up ahead appears to be what it looks like a small suburb. You know, like slightly larger than Ponyville, but definitely smaller than Canterlot.
Hold on, I had a question.
Hmm.
Would the new feeling feel anything similar for me? Or do I not recognize that thought?
You do recognize the kind of terrain as like somewhere you came from, but you don't have any particular recognizing of the area itself. You also get the same feeling that Fair and Cameo do, that something about this is just ever so slightly off. Just a tad.
Something's just slightly wrong.
Let's see.
Ever so slightly.
Let me. We're gonna.
Enough for me to feel cautious about going towards that village.
I need to.
Oh wow, that is a pretty view.
I take it that your timer is up.
Yes.
See. Hold on. Just here we go. Can everybody hear that? And it's not overpowering anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do? You can roll another perception, just a normal one, to see if you can spot anything from where you are. That will be up to you on whether you roll that one. Let's see. 2 and 3. So, from where you're standing, you do actually see what appears to be regular-looking ponies, although they look markedly cleaner than you have ever seen anybody in the wastes. Because, nobody really bathes in the wastes very often. But these ponies look like they had a shower this morning.
I get the feeling that if we move towards them, they might get a little scared at our appearance.
I see nothing wrong with my appearance.
Well,
You can't see in general.
No, you can see. Should be able to.
Yeah, his timer is up. His eyes have adjusted.
I'll take off my mask.
Okay.
There's nothing I can really do for my appearance. So,
I would point out that you are also wearing Royal Guard armor, so...
yes.
I will also say that the ponies don't appear to be unicorns, though. Or at least you didn't see many horns from this distance.
We should move closer, but cautiously.
Also, Fair, go ahead and roll an area knowledge. At a -2.
I wonder how they used to do
I want
this.
Cosmo and Moon to do the same.
It's too cut.
Well,
Just do an area knowledge regular. Okay.
No thanks.
Wait to see if Cosmo knows things as well. So, for Fairs, something... there was the weird something kind of off, but now it feels even worse looking down into the town. You need to put a space in there.
Yep.
You get it eventually.
There.
So, Cosmo, you've no idea what this could or couldn't be. Moon, as Doc, you've heard a few rumors of a disappearing city. but nobody's ever been able to confirm where it is. You've never seen it with your own eyes, and you've only heard it from really drunk people. Or high. And one psycho. But that psycho was also spewing all kinds of things that at the time sounded like nonsense that maybe a little less nonsense now. So.
Or he was just crazy and right.
You know, you wouldn't be far off from what I was aiming at for there. So, does anybody want to say anything on their new revelations?
I got a bad feeling about this.
What is this?
This doesn't feel normal, right?
No.
Okay,
This is
it's not just me.
definitely not normal.
Well, I mean, have you seen the
I
rest
wanna
of the
stay
wasteland?
This may not be normal for us, but who knows what's their story behind this? You should check it out.
If a settlement, or if there was a settlement like this out in the waste, it would have been torn apart by raiders years ago.
Apart by raiders, scarecrows, stepped on.
Well, what are the options?
That's why we gotta question them. Come on.
We go say hello.
Well, this place looks kind of like, you know, pre-war Equestria, though. Would that imply that these people have been here like this for centuries?
I mean, we won't know unless we ask.
I go ahead of the group.
Okay.
I still have a bad feeling about this.
So is everybody headed to the small town?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure, but I'm going to stand at the back. I'm a little scared.
Okay. So, Bun, you headed to the town as well with everybody?
I think Bun might still be AFK.
She said she was back. She's muted.
He's muted.
I don't know why, but Discord keeps letting me not mute or not unmute. Like it takes me 6 clicks to mute and unmute. What do you need from me?
Are you going to join the rest of the party in the small town?
Yes, the weird, weird town. Go ahead. Sorry.
So you guys start heading down to the town, and how do you approach? Are you trying a stealthy approach? Are you walking there in broad daylight in front of everybody?
I'm walking cautiously, but I'm not being stealthy.
Okay. Is everybody else gonna mirror that?
I'm not being stealthy.
Yeah.
Cautious, but not stealthy.
Okay. So as you guys get to the town, several of the ponies from the town catch sight of you and then start calling to the others, and soon there's a sizable crowd coming around asking where you guys are from and like how the war is going, who's winning. They seem somehow very out of touch.
Yeah, something's not quite adding up here.
So, let's see. Fair. I'm gonna have you roll a quick observation for me.
Ooh, an observation. That's different. Oh, it's 12, not 1, 2, 3.
I was about to say, how'd you manage to squeeze a skill of 123 with the?
That's just 12.
So,
just barely missed it.
So
The feeling just keeps getting bigger, like something's not right.
you look out over the crowd and you can't quite place it, but something just doesn't feel right about this place. And this crowd is making it even worse. But you can't figure out what exactly it is. Can't put your hoof on it. One of the members of the crowd steps forward and says, "My name is Rosethorn, and I am current mayor of this town. What brings you guys here?"
We were just passing by and we stumbled on this town.
So, I will say he is a red and green earth pony with a rose surrounded by a almost like a crown of thorns cutie mark. He nods sagely and says, "It is a very difficult place out there right now."
You could say that again.
He nods and says, "You look like you could use a place to rest, a bath, some good food. Come, stay in our town for a while."
Can I roll for detect lies?
Go ahead. You still had a
Actually,
-3.
I have that too.
-3?
Yep. Go ahead and roll. That goes for you as well, Fair. You can do so as too. If you have the skill and somebody you decide you want to also do it, you are allowed to roll it as long as you use the same disability I give them. Let's see. So 14, it's 8. Okay.
Yes, yeah. You said -3?
Yes.
Okay.
So, both of you looking at this Earth Pony, everything he's saying seems really sincere. Like, kind of an odd amount of sincere. Not like they're lying, but like, it seems a bit weird for the wastelands. It's a little too
no idea
open.
what's going on. I see no reason why we should decline.
I agree.
Let's go.
Okay.
Go.
So,
Right, I guess you go.
the townspeople take the group to a small tavern-like area. It seems to be more of like a cheap hotel, but it's like the only one they have in town. There is
Probably leagues better than anything in the wasteland.
Oh, by miles. When you guys walk in, all of the wastelanders, this is the nicest thing you have ever seen in your lives.
Wow.
Beds are clean, there's no bugs everywhere. You're pretty sure that the mattress didn't start wiggling when you sat on it?
This place is amazing.
I checked the room for traps.
This place is a relic.
So, do you have a skill for it? Or, because if not, just roll a perception -2. You find nothing.
Apparently, Doc's only perceptive when he's paranoid.
I'm giving this place a good search.
I don't trust it.
Maybe they're cannibals, and they use outsiders for ritualistic sacrifice.
The hell?
So basically, like the other. I know something is off about this place, but After a good bath, I'll check it out. I'm gonna be cool.
What brings up the results of my search?
You also find an immaculate amount of nothing. Like, there's not even dust
This
bunnies.
seems too good to be true. It's almost exactly how I remember Ponyville, but
I start playing a song to go cameos singing.
Are you gonna go hard on it, or are you gonna do something that's a bit more,
I'm just more following her lead with the tone.
so something a little more inviting,
Yeah.
less screechy heavy metal?
Inviting.
So, for those of you that are taking baths, eating, whatever, everything seems surprisingly pleasant for the area.
I need to have a chat with the mayor.
Okay?
I
Anybody
blow
else?
bubbles in my bath.
Okay, so the dragons are both bathing. What about the deer and the earth pony?
I want to do other snooping around.
Okay?
Not quite around here, but maybe when things get dark, I slip out. I look around.
Okay.
Just don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Doc, do you want to do anything?
I also want to snoop around, but since we apparently can't be suspicious. And then I proceed to do the same thing that every single muscle character does when they disarm. Knives, sharpened sticks, beating clubs, gun, ammunition, scalpels.
Defendable.
Oh, in that case, Doc takes the scalpels and leaves the gun.
Yeah. So,
So,
you look at me. Do I look suspicious?
you look like a
Compared to
deer.
everyone around here.
For Doc, question: are you going to try information gathering, you plying your trade, or? Because everybody's going to complain to the doctor about everything.
Yeah, I'll try that.
I figured I would
Go try
suggest
your
it
hand
because
at the
I'm pretty
clinic.
sure you probably didn't think of it given the tone of voice.
I mean, I thought about it, but Old World also required things called medical licenses, which mine turned to dust.
Just if they ask about your medical license, just say it's a military issue.
I'll just tell them I'm a refugee.
So
That works too.
we're gonna start with. Actually, we're gonna start with Doc. So Doc, how do you set up your practice for the moment?
Well, I assume they already have pre-existing practice, so I'm gonna look for that and then offer a hand
So
or a hoof.
after a quick search, you do find what appears to be kind of more of like a family practice type office. And inside you see a pony that looks like they probably aged the entire time that this was going on. They look so old. So they are also sitting behind a counter at the moment, staring very closely at what appears to be some sort of medical record. Like, literally their face is in the medical record, and a pair of glasses are perched on top of their head. Not looking through them, on top of their head.
I go to introduce myself.
The pony seems unresponsive. They are breathing, by the way.
Hello? Well, I guess Food Brain also reaches this part of the world as well. I try to look at the medical record.
So it appears to be just a generalized record for one of the townspeople saying that they like chipped a hoof while doing some cooking. Nothing too fancy, and it appears to match some of the stuff that you found in the book that taught you some of what you know. But for the most part, like the Earth Pony, because this one is also an Earth Pony, has not really been doing much until after about a minute or so of you looking over the record, they reach for a stamp and slam it on the record.
Oh dear, you're alive.
They then shove the record into a filing folder in a cabinet, slam the cabinet shut, and look at you and then go, "Oh, I didn't see you there!"
That's quite right. I didn't know you're still alive.
They tilt their head to one side and say, "What'd you say?"
I am here to see if you need help.
The Earth Pony tilts his head to the other side and said, "I can't say that I need any kelp."
Now, would you like some assistance with your practice?
He stares at you blankly for a moment and shakes his head and says, "I don't know what you're trying to say, but you look like a doctorish type." And slides off the chair, and he makes more creaking sounds than the chair does, rather alarmingly, as he heads over to a door in the back of the practice, gesturing you for you to follow.
I follow him.
He pushes open the door and points to a haphazardly stuffed cabinet and says, "If you know anything about medications, you could help me with sorting this."
I'll be happy to help. This might matter to get robbed.
He
kind of expected that, honestly.
He nods and says, "I would do it myself, but I haven't been able to find my glasses for weeks." And with that, he turns and walks away, the aforementioned spectacles bouncing on his head.
That isn't the most relatable shit. Oh my god.
For real, though. Where are my glasses? Adjust glasses to see clearer.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Oh, that hurts.
That's a mood.
Anything that there's a lot of, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna take like a bottle or two.
So you're basically able to add another bottle of everything you are carrying.
Hell yeah.
There are also some things that you don't recognize that are glowing funny, so I don't know if you want to attempt to take any of those.
If they're gems, take it. I haven't gotten payment for none of the shit I've been doing with y'all.
They still look like some sort of medication. Some of them are pill form, some of them are fluids.
Anything that I don't know, I'm gonna try to ask him and just say, if he asks why, I'm just gonna tell him we didn't have it, where it was from.
Okay. So there is 3 different medications of unknown type for you. Excuse me. 2 of which are glowing pills, and 1 is a glowing fluid.
Alright.
So you're gonna take them to him?
Yep.
So when you get out there, he looks up at you and says, "Are you done?"
What? What is this?
He takes the glowing fluid first and stares at it real intently. You're pretty sure that if he got any closer, he'd put his eye out with the bottle. As challenging as that might seem. But he hands it back to you and says that it's a poison joke antidote.
What?
So go ahead and roll an area knowledge. See if you know anything about it. At a -4.
Apparently I do.
Apparently you do. So you do know that it is a plant that is indigenous to the Everfree Forest. Though you know that it may be slightly different than whatever this was meant to treat, because it's a lot more aggressive than it used to be, according to some of the notes that you found in your book. For the most part, though, if it does still work, it might actually come in handy.
What about the pills?
So he takes the pills and tells you both of them are placebos. But the unicorns seem convinced that since it glows that it works better.
I like this.
So, what do?
I go back to sorting.
I will also say that the pills are, one bottle is red and one is blue.
Make the blue pill.
So, are you going to take any of those?
Once I'm out of eye fog of him, yes.
Okay, how many bottles of those do you plan on taking?
One of each.
Okay, don't forget to mark that down. And
Yep.
we're going to go ahead and hop over to Fair. So it is now late afternoon, and you have found Rosethorn again. He is currently standing, staring at a bunch of paperwork. He looks up as you get closer, and he says, "Oh, how are you?"
Oh, well, very, very nice, actually. This very nice place you got here.
Did you take the opportunity to bathe and clean your armor?
I would say yes.
Okay, so freshly cleaned. He nods.
Although, without, actually getting in the water.
Yeah, he nods and says, "Yes, I run a very, very nice town."
What's the name of this town?
He opens his mouth and it looks like he says something, but you don't hear anything.
One more time?
Same thing happens.
Uh-huh. Okay, then, how long has this place been here?
You get the same result. Although this time he looks slightly puzzled.
Interesting. So, how's life here?
This time you actually get an answer as he says that it is absolutely wonderful. Just perfect and peachy. They're just worried about what might be going on with the war outside.
What do you know of the war?
He states that he knows that quite a few people have died due to it, of all races. But that's really all you get from it. Like, you don't even get sides or anything. Very generalized information.
Information that,
literally
is
anybody
very
could
not
give
useful.
you. Even if you found a historian here nowadays, if you asked them to give you the most general idea of what might have possibly happened, they could have given you this exact answer. Very general. I will get to you in a moment, Cameo.
Do you happen to have a library around this town?
He nods and points to a building not far from the mayoral structure. I forget what they're... Town hall. That's what the word I was looking for. Not far from the town hall. It looks very library-like.
Well, one last question, and then I'll be on my way. Could you happen to remind me what year it is?
So he opens his mouth, and you get a stream of numbers that all get crammed into the space of basically saying the year, like, that you would have expected him to say if he were from your time. So basically it sounds like he said all of the years at once in the space of a time of saying 1 year. If that makes sense.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
He nods and wishes you a good day.
You too. I'm gonna go off towards the library now.
Okay, while you do that, before we get to your library shenanigans, Cameo, what do you?
I just want to explore the town in general and see who else is here.
So, as you're exploring the town, are you looking for anything in particular, or just kind of looking around in general?
I'm looking for advanced tech because I think that these people were put out of time, like the army dudes. So, seeing if there's signs of advanced technology around.
So, as you do your search, roll search if you haven't. Otherwise, roll perception -2. While she is doing that, does anybody else plan to do anything?
I want to see if I can do some street performances.
Okay. Okay. So you search the entire town over, and the closest thing they seem to have that you would be able to call technology that isn't just like simple machines is some sort of water tank. It's a fairly large water tank with a small porthole window, reminiscent of the one you found in the castle at Canterlot.
So if this is as close as they get, maybe it's a magical spell. But I'm definitely no expert on that shit. But, it's a cult.
What's that?
I want to look into the hole to check for a cult piece.
So you don't really have a great view inside, and it's kind of dark in there, so roll a perception -3.
I've seen.
Okay. So, peering in through the porthole, it's hard to tell. You really can't see much in there, but you swear to God that you saw something move at the very back. But it's like one of those that was so hard to see, you can't tell if it's you're looking for something and so your brain tricked you into seeing it, or you actually saw it.
Ah.
So what do?
Alright. I'll make a little note of that, and then go back to exploring the town. This time to see if there's anything very obviously magical aside from the fact that everything is now like very green and all that shit.
So, perception -2 again.
Oh no!
So you see nothing obviously magical other than a few magical races, such as unicorns. You do see a Kirin, though. Only fleetingly. They seem to be largely staying in a singular house towards the center of town. But for the most part, just unicorns, and oddly, not a lot of them. It is now getting late into the day. We are going to switch over to Cosmo. Cosmo, go ahead and... I can't remember which skill it is, but you have a performance type skill.
Yes, I do.
So... what kind of music are you planning to perform? Are you going to do something more mellow? Or are you going to try and blow the windows out of this place?
I want to do something to get attention, but also something that generic enough that everybody will like it.
So something that isn't going to blow the windows out, but not quite mellow.
Yeah.
Okay. So make your roll. So, you did a pretty good job, and you've got a small crowd around you.
Okay.
You actually earn some small amount of coin. They all appear to be some sort of, like, old world coin, though, that you're not quite familiar with.
Okay.
They throw them down around you. And when you finish your song, they immediately break up. You do notice, though, that they did kind of all seem to have the same, like, blank-eyed expression while listening to your music. And their movements kind of seem a bit off for normal people. Well, ponies and creatures and whatnot. You do notice, though, that it did attract what appeared to be 2 zebras, an Abyssinian and a Orinthian, which are markedly less rare in the wasteland than they would have been previously, but as far as you're aware, they normally don't live in spaces with ponies unless they're the ones in charge.
I make a mental note of it for later.
So, before we move on to Fair, because it is still daytime, so no sneaking around in the dark yet.
Not that I'd have difficulty doing that anyway.
Not that you would. Bun hasn't had a chance. Does Bun want to do a thing?
Nah, I'm just vibing.
Okay.
I probably would have just been wandering around aimlessly anyway.
I mean,
We're sitting in a bath full of nice clean water.
There's that too. Actually, are you going to sit in water?
Sure, I'll take a nap. Take a slip.
Before you do, roll perception.
Oh no, the water's poison. I'm kidding. Fuck.
If that was the case, I mean, Cameo would be fun.
Well, let's find out.
In that case, I'd probably be the only one that wouldn't be affected.
Fuck.
So, as you were taking your bath, you feel something oddly familiar about the water. So, as a Kelpie, you're slightly more familiar with water than most people, and different types of water give you different sensations.
Like salt water hurts.
Salt water hurts, but more notably, you can check another Kelpie's territory by being in their water.
Okay. That's fucking hilarious, but... Alrighty.
Well, Kelpie tend to clean the water around them, so clean water sources. So you feel something familiar about it, but you can't place your hoof on what exactly it is that is familiar about it.
So wait, like... So I feel like a familiar sensation as in, like, I recognize a Kelpie that's been here? Or... What is that, like... I am confusion.
That is the vibe I was kind of going with for that, is confusion.
Gas! Oh.
So, I will say that you can tell it is safe.
Okay. Cool. Glad
So-
I'm not being...
Fair. Once you get to the library, roll a will save -8.
Damn.
Oh no. Will.
If
I think
it reduces it to something that you couldn't technically pass, a 3 will still pass it.
Yeah, it would be that it would physically be unable to be achievable, but
A 3 can
we'll
still
see.
pass it.
Yeah.
Regardless of how bad the modifier is, if you roll a 3, you will be able to pass. It is a crit pass.
There's no reason for me to show you what that is, so I'll just roll 3d6.
Nope. So, Fairy, you are happily skimming through books, but you don't even know what's going on right now. There is now a blank space where what you should have been spending searching through the library is. It is now dark. But before we get into like snooping around in the dark, the entire feeling of the area seems to change a bit as there's a sound of a bell tolling in the background.
Is it 6 a.m. now?
Almost 4 minutes for me.
So,
Well, oh yeah. Well, not PM.
for my dear,
Yeah.
this is not the music I was looking for.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Give me just a sec. I know which one I want now. Go ahead and roll like a search or perception or something like that.
Scroungeback?
Scrounge would be looking for items like that are going to be
then-
useful to you.
Alright.
If you are not searching in particular, then it would be a regular perception. So that passes. So as you are searching, you get a very strange feeling. Like you don't feel the feeling, but you know that like sensation like something is watching you. And with that, you suddenly get the almost a jarring realization that you probably shouldn't be here. doesn't seem to be coming from where you would expect it to be. It's almost as if somebody else is trying to tell you that from not within you, if that makes sense.
Are there any plants nearby?
There is a astounding lack of anything you could hide behind that isn't a building.
Oh, I'm not talking about hiding.
Oh. Well, there is a small flower garden nearby.
I'm going to go talk to the flowers.
Okay. Believe that is a spell, correct?
Nope.
No?
Advantage.
So you get to the flower bed, and this is the first real indicator that something is wrong. All the flowers are dead.
Oh.
But they don't look dead. What your eyes are telling you and what your attempt to communicate is telling you are two very different things at the moment.
Oh.
Fair. We're gonna skip over to Fair real quick. Fair, you come to a jarring, realization that you have been here way too fucking long. As you look around and the library is entirely empty, you're holding a blank book at the back of it, and there is a eerie, unsettling feeling around you.
I would like to disappear.
Then roll stealth. Or sneak, or whatever it is.
It's a thing. It is a thing.
Do what you do.
You have gone full sneak.
Maximum sneaky.
Doc, you have come to the sudden realization that you were stacking pills much longer than you thought you were. And while the bottles do seem to still have the same medications in them, and they seem to be they seem untouched, the entire area seems now to be coated in a layer of grime and filth that you didn't notice before. There's also the all too familiar stench of death in this room. What do you
I look for where the smell's coming from. Scalpel at the ready.
So, as you look around, you do find the remains of a what appears to have been a Pegasus at one point, given that there's a wing attached to the skeleton. What do now?
I head out to look for the rest of the party.
So as you enter the first room of the practice, you notice that the old timer is very dead now.
Oh, it's where I was right the first time.
Well, you were more right than you thought you were, because he's currently just a spine, a skeleton, and a singular leg. Or a spine, a skull, and a singular leg. I don't know why I said skeleton. Cosmo. You were now standing at an empty street corner.
Okay.
Several of the buildings that were around you that seemed perfectly fine just a few minutes ago now seem very ominous and foreboding. You can smell something kind of eking its way around the area, but you're not able to quite place what the smell is. Bun. Hello? Your bathwater has gone from the pleasantly familiar clean water to absolutely putrid and smelly.
I would like to get out of there now.
So, as you scramble your way out of the mess, you realize that the room is very much something that would be much more expected of the wasteland, minus the floor. The floor is no longer a part of the building. You are now standing on the ground in what looks to be a place that shouldn't be standing anymore.
You know, I don't think that's correct. Odd.
I'm no expert in architecture, but
Yeah, look a bit strange.
Arga.
Yeah.
So, now that you have realized that the flowers are not very alive, you also start to notice that things are just kind of falling apart as the world around you gets darker with night. What do? It's gone from, like, perfectly happy suburb to absolutely decimated town.
Suburb, happy. These words do not belong in the same sentence. I am going to try to find the others, I think.
Okay.
That's probably the safest option.
Cameo. I need you to roll a perception. Regular perception.
I see.
So, as you are looking around as the sun sets, realizing that you kind of started wandering at some point, and then forgot that you were wandering, you note that as the sun sets and the place around you just begins to decay and just go to more of an expected appearance of the waste, one house seems particularly unaffected. It is the house that you saw the Kieran go into.
I'm gonna approach it stealthily. Hopefully my stealth is actually, good.
You're gonna what?
I'm sneaky.
Oh, he's stealthy.
I wanna...
Go
Yeah.
ahead and-
I'm sneaky.
Go ahead and roll for sneak. You are sneak.
Maximum sneak.
So,
Well, medium sneak.
is the general consensus that you guys are going to find each other?
Let's play hide and seek. I'm gonna make it hard for everyone to find. No, I'm kidding.
Right next to... right next to Muddy.
First, like, me too! And Muddy's like, what the fuck, where'd you come from?
What the fuck? He jump scares you like, what the fuck?
I am
Can't do that.
So, is everybody getting together?
We should find each other, yes.
Okay.
However that may be. I imagine, roaming around, figuring out what's going on, sneaking around.
Am I able to successfully create my own light?
What's that?
Am I able to make my own light?
Using fire breath, you will be able to, yes.
Okay. I try to find the others.
Okay, so you guys gather basically in town square, not far from the the fucking town hall, and really not far from the Kieran house either. I will say that only one that knows about it right now is still Moop, but everybody gathers together in the same space. What do?
Something isn't right here, in case you haven't figured it out.
I think we should go like yesterday.
The water here is icky.
So, I need everybody to roll perception.
Oh my god.
See, so
Ah, shit. That's one too many. That's one too less.
2. Well, it doesn't matter. You passed.
Well,
Oh, I see what you did.
We only rolled.
You're gonna have to
we only
re-roll.
rolled 2 dice.
Yeah, is that you're gonna have to re-roll that.
yeah, I know.
So
Still pass.
You rolled the same except for 6.
Yeah, so even in the event he got the highest.
see, so as usual, Doc is the only one that fails.
Get it
Oof.
together.
Perception.
Get it together. Get
So
it.
you guys hear the sound. Those of you that were paying enough attention hear the sound of a door opening behind y'all from the town hall. I hate that it kills the music. What do?
Insta sneak.
Well, if you are going to sneak and do not have sneak, it is Dex -2. For the rest of you that are going to sneak, roll sneak.
Initiating sneak sequence.
With the exception of Doc.
What did you say it was?
Dex
If it's-
-2. If you do not have a sneak skill.
Fuck, what is my...
Everybody
Dex.
just disappears. Doc's just standing there like, what the fuck's going on?
Where'd everyone go?
Damn it, Muddy, I didn't think you were actually gonna play hide and seek.
Everybody gets there and Doc's like, hey, I found everybody. Poof. Where'd y'all go?
Would you give me the opportunity to re-roll?
Do
with
I
the intention
pass?
Of pulling Moo or Doc with me.
Do I pass?
Yeah, that would be a pass. If you
Okay,
meet, it
I
is
wasn't
pass.
sure. I wasn't sure!
So, Doc is unsure of what is going on. Cosmo, you have
Did you hear
decided
what
to
I
hide
said?
behind Doc. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Because it kind of, like, there is no point because Doc and Cosmo are currently wide out in the open. You know, a dragon that is about twice the size of Doc is hiding behind Doc, and everybody else just vanished.
Oof.
So, for Doc and Cosmo, you guys hear from behind as a voice that sounds like Rosethorn is, but like only if you like completely dried him out and then filled him full of rocks. As he says, you guys should be in bed right now. What do?
I don't have a bedtime!
Are you giving yourself away already?
No, I'm just... no. I'm
Right.
just angry at the perspective that I have bedtime.
I stand there, just
What was
trying
that?
to make sense.
What was that?
Oh, but I can't decide what I wanted to, how I want to react, so I rolled.
Okay.
I just stand there, unsure, unmoving, just.
Oh, did you not sneak, Argo?
I forgot. I forgot.
Oh, okay.
I forgot.
Doc, what do? Doc?
I tell him he's quite right, and I just got lost.
Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. I would like to roll skill.
What skill?
Thing. So, I have, I am going to act innocent.
Okay.
Oof.
Yeah, he's not buying it.
Oof.
Is anybody gonna turn around and look at him?
Well, I tried.
Anybody?
Nope, I just continue walking. Blatantly ignoring him.
Okay. For
I move with my
your cover.
designated guardian.
You are hiding behind Doc's ass.
Yes,
Move with the cover.
I am Doc's ass.
That is not a sentence I was expecting to hear today. So, as for the sneakers, what are you guys doing? And Argo.
Sneaking?
Are you just gonna stay hidden? You gonna try and take a look at the mayor standing in the door?
I'd like to see what he looks like.
I'm checking the current house.
So, what'd you say, Camille?
I'm checking the Kieran house.
You're headed for the Kieran house? Okay.
Yeah.
Argo, you said something as well. What'd you say?
I will turn to face.
So, to say that you could count this guy's ribs now would be a bit of an understatement, because that's all he is, a skeleton at this point.
I'm Skeletor.
His eyes are dead, empty sockets. And he's standing there, nothing more than a
Menacingly.
grinning Earth-pony skeleton. Almost appears as if, something might be controlling it, because, you've seen several undead so far, and all of them seem to have something in common that kind of belied that they were, not alive. So,
I will forego my hiding spot, saying, well, so much for the nice, perfect little village.
you get in a tone of voice that seems very offended. It's like, we are a perfectly fine little village.
Everything's dead.
He shakes his head and says, we are just waiting for the war to end.
The war to end? How long have you been here? Have you not known that the wastes have been there for centuries? The wars ended a long time ago.
The skeleton's head turns to the side slightly, and a green glow seems to fill the eye sockets as he says in what sounds to be like the entire town's voices from one source, the war never ends.
That's a contradictory statement.
Okay, edgelord.
Who's controlling you?
We're gonna put a hold on that real quick, and for Cameo, as you get closer to the Kieran's house, you do notice that the green grass and clean roads have also receded, stopping just shy of the Kieran's house. There seems to be basically a small circle around it.
Can I note anything else about the circle? Like, can I see any markings or anything?
Nope, it's just a sudden and abrupt change from wasteland to green grass.
Can I circle around it for a bit while still staying stealthy?
You can circle around it.
And I see absolutely nothing else of note aside from that.
All of the windows are shuttered, the doors are shut, nothing to be visibly seen from where you are at the moment.
I want to throw a rock, but I don't want to make it obvious that it's me.
So while you're deciding what you are going to do, we're going to hop back over to Fair. And Fair, he doesn't answer your question, but the green glow does vanish as his head straightens back up. And he just kind of stands there.
I'm gonna fill up my broadsword now.
He doesn't seem to respond yet.
Need to get out of here. This place isn't right.
The skeleton reacts to that and says, "Nobody leaves here."
We'll see about that.
He shakes his head and says, "Nobody leaves."
You can't keep me. I don't pay my taxes.
We're gonna go back to Moop now. What does the Moop do?
Can I see if there's anything possible to throw? Because I kind of just don't want to throw anything I have with me.
I mean, there's dirt clods, there's rocks, there's like it's wasteland now, except for around the house.
Alright. I want to get a rock and throw it. But I'm not aiming directly at the house. I'm aiming it like at a steep angle, so it still can possibly hit at least the edge of the circle without actually thing. And then I want to like dash, have like a little sneaky dash after that. Is that possible?
That is possible.
Okay. Do I need a roll?
Nope. So you yeet your rock, and there is no reaction. Everything that you expected to happen if you were throwing a rock at a normal house happened. There is no response, no nothing. What do?
Can I see what's going on with the others from this place? From this angle?
They are still confronting the skeleton. What are you gonna do now?
I want to try to sneak within the house, but do it pretty slowly so that if there's like any magical thing, I could kind of like back up quickly.
So as you get in up to the door is unlocked, and pushing it open, there is a stale scent of blood as you look inside. And inside does not look like the house outside. It looks like an immaculate lab type area, but less laboratory, more office type looking. Very stark difference from what you saw throughout the rest of the village.
Who's running this lab? I want to continue to sneak around in the house.
So as you get inside, you come around a corner in the building, which is notably larger on the inside. And you see the Kieran that you had seen earlier in a pool of blood reaching for some sort of device. And pinned to the wall is an absolutely massive specimen of a minotaur. He is pinned by large ice shards appears to have been thrown at him magically. He is also wearing a FPC uniform, though this one seems a lot sleeker and a lot more like camo-minded than the ones you saw the other soldiers wearing. So possibly some sort of covert espionage type. He is obviously already dead. And the device that the Kirin appears to be reaching for looks to be some sort of watch. What do?
I try to see things at a better angle so I can see the watch more clear.
So, once you move around a bit, you notice that the watch doesn't have numbers, it has magical symbols on it. But you still have no clue what it might be for. You know, you're not magical. Or at least not like that. You would need somebody that has some sort of magical know-how. But, you're not going to have much longer if the Kirin gets a hold of it. So what do?
I want to make a dash and get out of it.
Okay, roll dexterity.
Dexterity. Please don't throw. Oh, jeez, this is gonna fucking be horrible. Yep, knew it.
So you actually passed because you beat him by 2. You both failed, but he failed worse.
Oh, wow, yay!
So you don't exactly grab it, you yeet it across the room, but you did get it away from him. So, watch goes skittering across the room. His eyes go wide, and you can see him preparing a spell. What do?
I don't know if I should go for the fire or not, but I think it'll be better to try to get the frickin' thing without dying. Oh shit.
You can roll your pre-war area knowledge to see if you know anything about Kirin.
Okay, so...
Because this wouldn't be something that would just be common knowledge, so you'd actually need the area knowledge.
Oh, well, oh, shit!
So, they're not entirely fireproof, but they're damn near. There's even some rumors that there were certain Kirin that were actually fully fireproof, so it's a gamble on whether or not fire will even do a little bit of damage. You know, they kind of burst into flames when they're angry. This one looks panicked at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fuck with the fire. Nope, I'm not, cause I don't know the level of fireproof. Nope, going to get the watch. No, get the watch. Nope, not gonna even risk it.
Okay, the watch is skittered under a desk. Well, I say skittered. You know what I mean.
Yes.
Slid under a desk. So go ahead and you're gonna need to roll a dodge.
Dodge!
We'll see if he hits.
Where is dodge again?
Dodge will be up where your encumbrance stuff is, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Let's see how much I die.
So
I die.
You actually got lucky because he threw wide. He is doing not very well because he does have an open throat at the moment. And with that, he expires as you make it to the watch.
Alright, it's under a desk. Can I put my stick there to push it out?
It's under the open part of the desk. It's not in the, hard to get. It would have been hard to get if you were trying to dodge icicles. But, he kind of sucked at that because somebody slit his throat.
I wonder why.
So.
I get it.
So, the watch is very ornately carved, very interesting design. And the hands actually have multiple sets. So, there's not just 3 hands, there's 8. And they're all going in different directions. Some of them aren't in the same spot. And they're all pointing to various magical symbols. It is a very complex item. And you have no idea what would happen if you start playing with it.
Yeah, just gonna put it away in my little storage thing before I check out the area.
So, as you start looking around the area, you notice very first fire-holding cabinet near you is full of police reports, or something similar to it. And one of the first ones in there is Rosethorns, who was an attempted assassin who is sent to kill Silvertongue. Majority of the other ones are espionage, traitors, all kinds of different terrorist attacks. What the picture this is painting to you now is this is a equestrian monarchy prison. By the looks of things, the FPC came back to get their own, but something didn't quite go right. You do find a document that kind of gives you more of an idea of what the prison is supposed to do. It's basically supposed to look like a regular little town for anybody that stumbles on it. So, a regular pony walks through, they make it through the double-layered barrier, and they just see a regular town. They exchange niceties with the quote-unquote townspeople and keep moving on their lives. However, without the proper clearances, which would have been given unknowingly to anybody who stumbled in by the one Kieran that was the warden, they would not be able to get back out. It does also give a detailed description on how to give and revoke clearances and how to shut down the barrier, which is powered by something underneath the house that you're in. And consequently, the house is actually the dead center of the area. It also notes that they did not install a Kelpie water purification system, but have installed a dummy version of it that even has a water agitator to make it appear as such for anybody that decides to look too closely.
These bitches.
There is a handwritten note from the previous warden asking if they're methods of brainwashing and like mind controlling their prisoners. Is it any worse, better or worse than the forced labor camps of the FPC? There is a series of symbols on the desk as well that if you follow the instructions, you will have to roll a dex -1. You should be able to shut down the town and release the corpses that are currently being puppeted. In theory.
In theory.
Yes, but you are following age-old instructions from who knows how long ago. And you know, you're not that kind of magical. You're an innate magical, not a I learned magical. So, what do?
Come back next episode to find out.
It's a bit
Cut to the
soon for
next.
that.
Well, then cut to the other people. Do they fight the puppets?
Well,
I need time to think.
if you need time to think, then we'll go ahead and jump back to fair. What does the fair do? Since fair is...
Fair would like to observe to see if there's an opening for escape.
From your point of view, right now, all you would have to do is walk out of town. You do see movement throughout the houses, but on closer inspection of the nearest house, it seems to be corpses going through the motions of doing things in preparation for bed. You even see a Abyssinian skeleton attempting to make a bed that has no bedding.
What are the other houses?
Well, your library is actually largely intact still.
Any other houses?
Oh yes, the Kieran house. I forgot I didn't tell you that.
There we go. Seeing a building that obviously looks more intact than the others, I'm going to go towards it.
Okay. So, you make your way to the house. Doors open, obviously, and you have a special affinity for the smell of blood. So you smell it before you even make it all the way to the house.
Mm-hmm.
What do?
So I go in the house following my nose.
So as you get inside, you get a full view of the scene that I described previously to Cameo. Go ahead and roll an area knowledge for the pre-war area knowledge for all of that. At a +1. So, oh, you would have passed that regardless. Congratulations. So as you look in, you are greeted with a... So, you had heard about the Black Ops of the FPC. They were a unit that didn't even get a proper name. But they were well known for their assassination missions and things like that. But you guys could never find any kind of documentation that actually said that they properly existed. Like, you guys knew they existed, but you didn't know how they existed, where they existed, all the particulars. But, it's the Kirin that really interests you. They seem very familiar. Also very dead at this point.
Look to move. So what happened here?
This is also a point that everybody else can make it to the Kirin house as well.
I'm with Doc, so Doc's there. I'll be there.
Is Doc going to the Kirin house? Or is Doc still walking away from the town hall?
I'm still walking away from the ghost, trying to make it my problem.
Okay. One is disappeared. Argo, are you going to make it to the Kirin house?
Yes, I should try.
Okay, so once you make it into the Kirin house, I need you to roll a will save. Okay. So you feel a sudden and violent urge to do a thing that I'm going to send you in DMs.
Okay.
But you are able to fight it off. And with the margin of success there, you are able to do so without giving away too much inner struggle to anybody else. I cannot find you in my... There you are. There we go. That information you can do with what you will. You are being strongly urged for it, but you are not being forced to do it. As for Nebula, Nebula looks very sick at the moment. Because this is the first she has seen of her kind since meeting you guys. And they're kind of spilling everything that makes them able to be alive all over the floor. They've made quite a mess. It's really such a terrible thing. So, what does the group do? Well, those of you that are actually there.
I kind of come out of the room I was that I had the notes in, and I see everyone. Oh shit!
I mean, you were still in the same room as them.
Yeah, but it's just like that moment where you turn around and suddenly people speak.
Yeah.
Did you not hear my question?
What was your question?
Well, I asked Moop before you started to go off on details. What happened here?
Okay, so that one was already dying. And, this is a prison purposely made to trap people and keep them in.
What do I remember in the prison?
It's a lot. There's a lot of notes, even the old warden before the current one. It's just a lot of shit.
Are you currently carrying a bunch of notes?
Yes, and I am just like shuffling through all of them, and it's like my little tiny arms cannot even, he's like struggling to hold all the notes.
So she's carrying a mountain of paperwork towards you.
Judging from the smell of the blood, this Kieran died recently.
Yeah, they took one shot at me and died.
What shot at you? Why did they take a shot at you?
Oh, yeah, because they were trying to get the watch. Hold all these papers. I don't want them to touch the floor. The floor is obviously dirty.
Are you going to take the papers from the Dragon Fair?
As best I can.
So I will note that for like lighter things, your wings can act very similarly to hands.
Mm-hmm.
So a pile of paperwork is not going to be too difficult for you to hold. You cannot pick up a person, but you can hold a bunch of paper.
What do I see on papers and things?
You see a long list of people, because quite a few of them quite a few of the individuals listed in the documents are known benefactors of the FPC, as well as several inside traders. A couple that you find the names familiar, but you can't place where from. All of them are named with some sort of like treachery, like espionage, things like that. Terrorism.
I did ask a moment ago what my memory would have been of the prison. If I knew anything about the prison.
You remembered that for the most part it exists. You really didn't have much dealings with it, but you did send several people there. Namely, at least 8 assassins, all headed for Gaster. I don't remember if I told you if you remember his name or not, but we're gonna pretend that whether or not you did.
You know, it's still fuzzy.
Yeah. So you know that you sent several assassins here that were after your charge.
Apparently this was the Equestrian Monarchy prison. And this Kieran was the warden. Only had gotten here sooner. Probably could have saved him. What did you say about a watch? Directed at Moop.
Moop? Did the Moop do a die?
Yes, move do or die. So I take out the watch after handing the papers and letting him read it. This is what that Karen was after. I knew something was super off about it, so I had to get it first. And it's very, very weird. It's not an actual watch. Or at least not that I know of. Unless this is like magical time bullshit.
So, I'm gonna let you... I believe you have magical know things skill, fair?
Maybe?
Thaumaturgy?
No, it wasn't me.
That wasn't you? I could have sworn I gave you that.
No.
Could I try to take a guess?
Do you have a skill related to that?
Perhaps.
Then you can attempt. If not, then I will have Nebula attempt for you.
You said thaumaturgy was the thing, right?
Yes, thaumaturgy or thaumaturgy or whatever, however it's said, will be the one that you need.
I forgot to write that. I forgot to write the thing. I am going to try something. I have luck.
Okay.
I am going to re-roll that 6. So
I don't remember if that's how... Moon, how does luck work for GURPS?
once per hour, I may re-roll a single bad dice roll twice and take the best of the 3 rolls.
Okay. So...
Yeah.
Go ahead and just roll 2 more times.
Oh, like the full things, or?
Yeah, roll all 3, and you'll take whichever one is best.
Oh,
Okay.
Mm.
And your thing is a 9, so those both still fail.
I tried.
Okay. I'm gonna give Nebula a go for this one. Nebula says that this is not the type of magic she knows.
Go figure.
So if
Well,
I gather
I'll
this
keep it
right,
with me so we can find out later.
if I gather this right, you essentially stopped this Kieran from getting this watch. When this Kieran is basically the only person we knew that would have had any knowledge about what it is.
One, the Kieran was already dying. 2, motherfucker took a shot at me. 3, they were the warden of this place.
Yes, this place that is in a new Equestrian Monarchy prison.
Just equestrian.
Equestrian Monarchy prison.
Do you really think that would have been the best idea?
Yeah, actually, I do.
So,
In case you've forgotten, it's the FPC that we're fighting.
so if you guys would like, you can also continue to explore the warden's area, because there are 2 more rooms.
Okay. Sure.
Shieldwing is currently very upset.
What does Shieldwing do?
At the moment, search the warden's body.
So you searching the warden's body. It's still warm because recently dead, but you do find a set of keys as well as a oblong stone. You recognize this as one of the larger storage memory stones meant for keeping journals or diaries and things like that.
This would be useful. Do I know how to activate it?
You need somebody with some sort of magical ability. Like a Kieran or a unicorn.
Nebula, get over here.
Nebula gingerly steps over the pool of blood and corpse. And
Sorry, it can't be a pleasant sight for you, I'm sure.
she goes to say something, and you hear more of a dry heaving gag instead. She is a notable shade closer to green.
Yeah, I don't blame you. What do you make of this? And I hold up the crystal.
She looks at it and says, "It's a rock," sounding somewhat confused.
It's a memory crystal.
Her eyes light up as she said, "I've played with these before," and her horn lights up, and a projection comes from the crystal, and it appears to have opened to whatever the last entry was, as it basically it recounts a much broken Kieran Warden, as he recounts how he's basically rewinded the last day that the attack happened countless times, but the damage to his watch has been unable to get him anywhere out of the loop. He's complaining about the prison coming apart at the seams. Everybody's just too nice. He can't leave either, because if he does, he dies because of how old he is. And it's just...
My suspicions were right.
Basically the ramblings of a madman trapped in a time loop that has lived far too long but doesn't want to die. And at the end of it, he looks at the device and says, it's almost time to get stabbed again, before stepping out of view. What do?
Let me see that watch.
It is the same song and dance over and over.
So, are you going to... Actually, I think, Fair, you already had the watch.
No, I was just showing it to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me see that watch again.
Which I'm going to try to copy the rewinding.
You can try.
Alright, give me the papers.
You take the papers.
Once I get the papers, I pass the watch.
So, Fair, you have the watch.
If I think this is what I think it is. Is there like a knob on it, like a dial?
There is.
I turn it counterclockwise 1 hour.
So, the room seems to be jerked very violently around as you guys basically find yourselves in the places that you were about an hour ago. The sun has gotten back up into the sky. So you stop it at that?
Yes.
Okay. What now? Your party is now scattered across the city again. Small town. So.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. I rush over to the...
What the fuck?
Do we recall everything though?
Yes.
So I immediately rush to that house.
Same.
Everything has also returned to a stage of this is all fine. There's nothing absolutely horrible happening here. It's just normal.
Just an hour, say, before sunset.
Yes. So as you get to the house, you can hear the sound of things being just kind of thrown around from inside the house. And you can hear the sound of the warden going, "Where is it? Where is it?"
You looking for this? As I step into the room.
He stops and looks at you. His jaw... If he could drop it to the floor, it would be... You'd have to find a shovel to get to it. He looks at your armor, and he starts stuttering and stammering and breaks down into tears, saying something about he doesn't want to die.
Listen, we don't have to kill you, but we do need to talk. We need information.
Why was that ever on the table?
The dude looks like he's fine. He thinks we're gonna kill him.
He looks at the watch and says, "Hold it up."
Hold it up.
He looks at the time on it as it is ticking away, turns around and opens fire at a window as a minotaur comes crashing through it in full FPC gear. What do?
Ah, shit.
Very startled, reaching for my sword.
I get my spear out.
The Minotaur looks very shocked at the moment. Like, you can tell that this has been going on for a while, and he knows something of it, but maybe not the full thing. But he knows that this isn't supposed to be happening. As he readies a pair of wrist blades that pop out of his gloves that are humming very loudly, actually. Go ahead and roll an area knowledge fair. So, you don't know the particulars of it, but you know if you get hit by those, it's going to cut straight through most armor. Except for some of the most well-enchanted armor. They used to jokingly call those things can openers when it came to fighting the SPC Black Ops.
Oh, jeez.
Because the amount of work it takes to make the armor that is resistant to it was far too costly to just outfit a whole shitload of people with the armor needed to resist the blades. So anytime that armored individuals came into contact with one of the wielders of these weapons, they normally were found carved up with their armor just basically looking like it was nothing more than paper mache to the assailant. So what do?
I whisper over to Thing like, hand me the watch, I can put it away.
Everybody is currently standing staring at each other. What do?
Did my message not get through?
What happened with the Minotaur being shot at?
He tanked it?
Tanked it, okay.
His
That would have been good to know.
His suit is currently shimmering. If you roll another area knowledge -3. Good job. You're fucking acing these rolls right now.
Remembering everything.
So, you hadn't really heard much about it by the time that you had, been sent away, but you do remember hearing something about armor that can shrug off most spells. But it was limited.
So, I'll shout or yell at the warden and say, you need to hit him with something harder.
He looks at you and says something in a very stifled, stuttering voice that essentially comes out as he wants help.
So
you've put him in this scenario. He wants your help because you have his watch.
One of those scenarios where this man has essentially relived thousands of hours. And it's like, this hasn't happened before. I don't know what to do.
He is currently shitting bricks.
That's quite impressive.
Go on the offensive.
Okay.
Are you gonna hand me the damn fucking watch? Okay, out of character. Are you seriously not gonna hand me the damn fucking watch to make sure that shit don't break?
I need to think of a response for that.
Seriously?
I guess I'll hand you the watch before going on the offensive.
Okay. So
Just don't do anything with it.
go ahead. If you're going to stab or whatever, do the roll to do that. What does the rest of the party want to do? But you essentially have a surprise round, so you guys all get to act before the Minotaur. Because, you know, there was only supposed to be one person in here, and instead there's 6?
A lot more than he was originally thinking.
Well,
7.
I'm gonna chase off after the guy ran off.
What?
The warden.
What?
Who-
Planet
Who's getting a...
The warden is right there. He
Ah.
was caught between you guys and the Minotaur. The Minotaur is here. If you had been paying attention, the Minotaur is here to kill him.
Can I try something?
Yes.
I would like to kneecap the Minotaur.
So, fair.
Aiming for the head.
Okay. See. So he barely manages to dodge that. Moon, you go ahead, do your thing. Argo, what are you wanting to do?
I have to fight. So I think I will fight the way that feels most natural. I'm going to run up and put him in a chokehold.
So we're gonna wait and see if Doc. How many of those land, Doc?
2.
Okay, roll damage. So when you hold on. So for Doc, when you fire, your shots kind of like ricochet off into the walls, but you do notice that the shield seems to falter a bit before fading back. It seems to still be active, but it doesn't seem to have been prepared for bullets.
What I'm hearing is it needs some more cowbell.
More cowbell.
More DACA.
More
So-
DACA.
So, Argo, as you go to try and attempt a chokehold, he dodges with surprising nimbleness. Like, you swear this guy does yoga, but at high speeds.
This guy does yoga and then some.
Unreasonable flexibility for as much muscle as packed on this thing.
I'll shout out, don't underestimate him. He's FPC.
Okay, so
Special forces that.
who hasn't gone so far? Cosmo.
Huh?
Are you going to do the attack?
Yeah. Let's see. I want to take a swing with my axe.
Okay. You gonna poke with your spear, Cameo?
I actually want to get the guy out of here, so if I could, like, lead the other dude out.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, you can go ahead and drag out the panicking Kieran. Nebula will go with you.
So how do I roll for weapon attacks?
So if you notice at the top of where your skills and advantages are, there's a box with like melee attacks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You will roll against the skills up there for your 2 hits for your axe. It should be like the first number, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So you will roll against that with 3d6.
Okay.
So basically the same as a skill check.
Okay.
And he will get a chance to dodge, parry, whatever. So, roll to hit.
I did.
What?
I did. Shoot. What? Wrong chat. Well, bad.
Don't worry, you wouldn't be the first, and you're probably never going to be the last.
It's happened before.
Okay, that hits. I am like 90% certain it is also not a crit, but I will check anyways.
Yeah, I don't think that's a crit.
So 14. Nope. 3 and 4 is crit. So I will roll for his dodge. Okay, so he is the Artful Dodger. Good lord, he is getting lower and lower with these dodge rolls. So,
Fine.
say, Bun, are you there?
Yes.
Do you want to do a thing? This would be
yes.
This would be a good time to practice some of your magic attacks.
Okay, yeah. That's probably smart. To use my mud jet? Maybe? I don't know.
So, with that one... Actually, let me open that one up, because I need to check what all you need for it. Let's see... So, you need to roll to cast the spell... Where is the other page? That works. I found the actual file. So, Mud Jet.
14. What? Why did it not work? What? I'm such a fucking idiot.
You okay?
I just, said roll 3d6 in my Squishmallow Discord. And I was like, why didn't it work? And now they're all gonna make fun of me for being a freaking nerd who plays Dungeons & Dragons. No, I'm kidding. I did delete it. Fuck.
So, time 1 second, duration 1 second, so... This should be castable in the same round, right?
Yes, I do
Moon?
believe. Or, I don't know.
Moon.
Technically, it's two separate actions.
Okay,
But if
so-
you want to just allow them together, that's like up to you. You're the DM.
Yeah, I'm gonna just allow it together.
Okay, how do I roll for damage?
So, it is... So, 1d KB/point.
What the hell? Does that even mean?
That is
What?
KB/point.
Or what?
For a spell damage.
Which spell?
Mudjet.
Oh, knockback. Mudjet doesn't do damage, it knocks things back.
God fucking damn it.
If you knock someone into something, you can deal damage.
So it is 1d6 of knockback per point. So if you invest up to 3 points, you can do.
How far is this Minotaur from the nearest wall?
He is actually not far from the wall of the window he came in through. So you could potentially blow him out of the room.
Okay. So, what is it again? How much?
So
One dice per energy.
1d per point?
yeah, you can spend up to 3 points.
Okay.
So you can do like 3d6 to move him backwards.
Let's do 2. Alright. I feel like 3 is a bit excessive. I'll do 2.
And do 2.
Bro. I'm
Okay.
Wow.
So what do I roll for him, Moon?
It would be his strength -2.
Okay. That. He failed. Failed by 1, but he failed. So he has been knocked out to the window. And it is his turn, and he is taking this attempt to flee, so... Because his mission was not to take on a party of 7.
Oh no, he didn't get off that easy.
Do you pursue?
Oh yes.
Right, but the wardens are priority is right here.
Warden can be your priority. I'm not letting him get away. Assuming that he doesn't have the ability to leave this place, he'll just come back later.
Okay. So, what is your speed, actually? I should ask.
Sped. I
Yes.
am sped.
Sped.
Yeah.
Basic speed, I guess is what you want, right?
Yes.
5 3/4, 575.
Okay, you are just barely faster than him. So you are able to catch him.
Sword to the head.
Go ahead
Ooh, that's
and
gonna hurt.
roll to attack. Okay, that hits because he is currently fleeing rather than attempting to defend himself.
And I definitely know where the damage is.
It would be in the same line as the sword skill. Okay. So you actually managed to burst through the energy barrier that seems to be protecting him. And go ahead. What is the multiplier for head damage for, like, the
Skull. Well, DR 12? That's what it says.
Hold on. I have a character sheet up right now.
It's freaking me out how realistic that bird sounds.
a times 4. So yeah, you split his skull in two.
Good. I take this opportunity to also feed, but nobody needs to know that.
Okay. You have
You know
satiated
what?
your hunger. So, what do?
Go back to the warden.
Okay.
Well, actually, first I search the Minotaur.
So the Minotaur seems to have some sort of transponder that is kind of a one-way kind of deal.
Is it in or out?
Well, currently it doesn't seem to be working at all. You do manage to figure out how to pull up the last mission, and it is basically just saying, continue mission. That is the only instruction.
Well, I'm guessing his mission was to kill the warden. Not today, my friend. Not today.
As you finish feeding, though, the corpse rolls onto its stomach, and you hear a click. Roll dexterity.
Oh boy. Right. Nope, that is not right. That's right.
So you narrowly avoid the ensuing explosion.
Kaboom.
As the belt of the Minotaur just kind of like makes the entire body go up in flames. There is now no longer anything recognizable left. What do?
I go back. Like, well, that's no longer useful. A little shaken. A little scorched.
Okay.
Nothing that won't puff out, though, you know.
So,
now I need to focus my attention on the warden.
why? What? That was loud. Fucking Doc. You are currently the one with the warden while Fair makes his way back. You cameo, fucking everybody that wasn't actively chasing. So basically everybody but Fair is within easy reach of the warden. So cameo Doc, if you are going to ask questions, now will be time. He is currently not in a active panic attack, but he does not seem terribly pleased with existence at the moment.
I keep my gun trained on him.
So, sorry about that. We were passing through and kind of got stuck here, so, you're the one in charge of this place, so we need information.
He blinks at you, and, says, something under his breath.
What was that, dear?
He clears his throat and, says, "Who are you?"
Call me Allie. What's your name?
He looks at you and says, Spring Seer.
Spring Seer.
He nods and looks thoughtful for a moment and says, EAR.
Oh, I would have spelled that completely.
You know, like what you do to a steak. You sear the steak.
That sounds delicious.
Sounds good.
So you're the one who basically runs this prison.
He nods.
Are you aware of what has happened outside?
He shakes his head and says, I haven't had any communication since he looks back at the house that he'd been staying in and shudders.
The infinite time loop issue. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, the war is over and Equestria is a wasteland. And it's not the only place like that so far.
He blinks and looks at you. And he says but they didn't come get me.
They probably couldn't.
If the war is over, that means we won, right? He sounds a bit frantic at this.
Everyone lost.
No one won. It wasn't possible to with the level of destruction and mayhem that ripped through everything.
Fair, at this point you have made it back to the party. You do overhear the astonishment of the fact that the war has not been won by the Equestrian monarchy.
Yes. Nobody won the war. Except it seems now that the FPC might have.
He looks at you with like this dumbfounded look on his face. The kind of what do you mean they might have?
Well, my colleagues say before, nobody won. The world is a wasteland, and it has been for apparently centuries. Nobody knows exactly how long, just that it's been a very long time. And somehow the FPC managed to tuck away a rather sizable battalion of soldiers. And they're back in full force.
His eyes have gotten to the size of dinner plates in shock. He is starting to shake a bit. He is very much not prepared for the information you are giving him. As he like pats himself down and is like, "Where's my watch?"
Oh, yeah, about that. I have it.
He looks at you and like the fear turns to panic. He says, "I need that."
Why? What's so important about the watch?
He points to the barrier in that you now know from the information given through the paperwork, and says, once that barrier goes down, all of the stasis fields here won't be able to sustain any of what they are supposed to sustain. All of them, and he points to some wandering villagers who, at this point, have given up any pretenses of looking normal and are acting like NPCs that don't know what to do, and doing things like running into walls, walking into each other, you got one that's like just standing, staring into a wall blankly as if it was going to give him all of the wisdom in the world. And he's like, this lot has already died 1,000 times over.
What does that mean for you?
He waves his hoofs and says, the watch is a chronomancy item. It's the only thing that's kept me alive this entire time.
And, well, we kind of figured that. But there's nothing else? What is with the thing in the basement?
He shakes his head and says, it was a magical power source. It's failed at least 12 times over. That watch was the only thing that kept it from staying failed. And he shakes his head again and says, without it, if I step foot outside of the stasis fields, then all of my years catch up with me. I did not live through all of that just to die old in 5 seconds flat. This time he looks at Moop with a lot more determination and says, give me my watch.
Is it possible for us to leave without you breaking the barrier?
He sighs and says, if you manage to make it out before the end of the night, and I don't reset it, it'll collapse by itself.
So you're basically doomed to relive this whole ambush.
He shakes his head and says, it's complicated to explain, but you've broken that. I just need to have the watch. At this point, I may be able to make it out of here for once.
I look to Moop and say, I think it'd be a good idea to give him his watch.
Let me just draw it for a second.
He looks very alarmed when you say that and says, don't do that.
Why?
If you mess up those runes, you could potentially set a catastrophe in motion.
I'll just be drawing them. I'm not going to be actually... Wait, what?
I think it'd be a good idea.
What?
Be careful, Moop. There's tribes around Camelot Castle who also draw mysterious runes, and terrible things happen to them when they mess up.
What I did to take...
Moop, you do remember the Kazites. You were there. You know, the one that turned into a potted plant because somebody was spouting off random magical words?
Yeah. I do remember that, but I don't remember any of them drawing it. And there's no way to take pictures either.
He shrugs and says, a picture wouldn't do anything. It needs to be actually transcribed. But once it is transcribed, it doesn't even take someone with enormous power. Even slight innate magical power of a dragon is enough to activate them. Griffins, Minotaur, and a few other races are able to write them and draw them without issue. But, I don't want to find out if a dragon writing the runes from my watch would be able to... And he shudders and is like, I just don't want to find out. I've had enough today of almost dying.
Is there a way to draw it without drawing the runes? Just like a non-detailed drawing?
He kind of looks at Muddy and blinks a few times, and in a choked voice asks, "Is that a Kelpie?"
Yes. Yes, that
In the
is.
flesh! I mean... this isn't really flesh, but... Yeah!
In the water.
He gets up onto his hooves shakily and steps closer, and you can see the tears in his eyes as he says, "I am sorry for your people." What do?
Do you know anything about the deer?
He looks over at you, Argo, and shakes his head and says, "Unfortunately, when the war started, they made themselves scarcer than usual. They were not a warlike people to begin with. And when it became obvious that nothing would stop the war, they decided that they were best to leave themselves out of it. Though, if what you say is true, then I fear that the war didn't leave them out of it."
The war didn't leave anybody out. Except it seems this place.
A written explanation would not trigger any runes. Yes. I see Moop has found a loophole already.
Yeah.
What was wrong with my loophole?
Oh no, I'm still.
Yours would have been just drawing a picture of a watch, essentially. And I think Moop wants a picture with the runes, if she has a picture. But he looks around at the group before sitting down again and asking, "So, I do get it back, right?"
Yes, just let me finish describing this. It's... Honestly, these things are complex. Like, very much so. So making sure I have written details of it, so I can possibly compare it to later on, should be good enough. It's
Yeah.
not the thing that
He kind of puffs up as he says, "It should be complicated. It was made by Starswirl the Bearded himself." And, you can hear the note of pride in it.
Starswirl Bearded?
It's a name I
know
haven't
that
heard
is-
in a very long time.
He then kind of deflates as he says, "That's because, to my knowledge, whenever I was assigned here, he disappeared, along with quite a few other individuals."
Hmm. That makes sense.
So back on a topic of races, do you know if there's anything left of my people?
He
Journeying through here on our way to my homeland.
He shakes his head and says, "Much like my people, yours were very secretive as well, though much more involved than the deer. They didn't necessarily keep to themselves per se, but they only sent small numbers of their kind out. I doubt that any even truly know where their homeland is other than their own."
Well, that is at least a little uplifting.
He gives a wry smile, looking at Nebula, and says, "For us, however, I doubt there is anything left of our village, and our ancestral homeland is probably just as ravaged as it ever was." To which Nebula gives a non-committal shrug, having no idea either what happened to the village or the ancestral homeland of the Kirin.
If I had to warrant a guess, I'd say probably not much better off than the rest of the world, from what I've seen of it anyway.
He sighs and says, I suppose a bit of travel to familiarize myself with what has happened to my home would be in order. Maybe there are other Kirin around still.
Well, Nebula's been with us for a while, so maybe.
He looks at Doc and says, You are dressed much differently than the others. I assume that you are from this time?
That's correct.
Have you heard anything of my people?
Not much.
He nods and says, To be expected, I guess. We were secretive to begin with.
You said with the watch you might be able to leave.
He nods and says, Now that an essential portion of the loop has been broken, I might be able to step out of here for the first time. And he pauses for a moment and says, I don't remember.
Too long.
Too long of near death.
Kind of surprised that you've managed to survive this long.
He looks at you and chuckles a bit and says, Me too.
Well, my story is a little different, though. I woke up in a cryopod.
He raises an eyebrow and says, Cryopod?
Stasis chamber, cryopod, something of the sort.
Was it technological or magical?
Both? I remember gems. It was gem-powered.
He nods and says, Then there must have been an equestrian monarchy piece. So at least you didn't fall into the hands of the enemy.
It was anything like that has been long disrepair.
He nods. Did somebody have a question? I heard somebody say something.
I said those gems were delicious. I want more.
He shakes his head and says, You'll find no such thing here. He does look at Doc and Cosmo's character, whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head. What was your name, Karen?
Tavi.
Yeah. So he looks at the two of you and asks, What of the monstrosities created by both sides? The scarecrows, the god engines.
They're a plague on the wastes.
You're better off avoiding them.
He gives a sigh and deflates a bit before saying, I was afraid of that one.
In fact, I'd go as far as to say that the weapons you've used in the past are the reason why the waste right now can't improve.
He looks up and says, I would offer an apology, but honestly, I had nothing to do with the building of them. I sat and watched the ones murdering each other to... I would say stop it, but I don't know if that was even true. Honestly, about half of the people here were probably just accused of crimes they didn't commit.
If you were to leave this place, go ahead.
He does look to move. eyeing the watch. What were you gonna say, Fair?
So, if you leave this place, what will happen here?
He looks at you and shrugs and says, most likely it'll finally collapse. The only building that has been able to stay fully intact is the one that I lived in. At which point the pocket dimension will implode. Which, to the wasteland, nothing will happen of notice. All of the, he kind of gestures at the individuals wandering around the town. Prisoners will finally find some sort of rest. They were acting strangely towards the end, though.
How so?
Glowing green eyes.
He looks at you with a bit of surprise. I did notice that at one point. One of them was sitting in a corner talking to itself. They're not even alive anymore. It's entirely the stasis field. He shakes his head and says, it's possible that somebody else could be doing something, but I don't know who it would be. I don't even know if anybody else survived past the war. Though, having said that, looking at myself, and he points to Fair and Moop and says, it's kind of hard to say anymore. And you said that the FPC came back with more than just one or two people.
No. Enough that if they wanted to, they could reestablish a foothold and essentially take over the world. And who's to stop them? Nobody.
He shakes his head and looks at Doc. I would say that you are right on nobody winning, but I don't know if we can even say that it's even over.
It was at one point, but not anymore. Which is why we're headed towards my homeland, in search of allies.
He nods.
I'd say so far, it hasn't been for naught.
He nods and says, if I find anybody worth their salt, I will send them your way. Perhaps a few of them will make it there alive.
One can only hope.
But I'm not a fighter. As you could see, my spell was okay against a singular individual. I am not... I'm a warden, not a combatant. He points to you, Fair, and says, I'll leave the fighting for you. Besides, I need to find my homeland, or what's left of it.
Yes, just as soon as you get that watch back.
He nods, looking at Moop.
All right. Here you go.
He takes the watch and slips the chain around his neck and stands up and says, if you'll follow me, well, I will walk with you to the edge, and then we will part ways there when the barrier drops. Without me reversing it, it should only be a matter of time.
I will follow.
Okay. Does everybody follow?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he trots to the edge of the town, occasionally dodging a wandering prisoner. And when you guys get to the edge of the town, it's gotten to the point where you first reversed the time for him. And he looks at you guys and says, I appreciate you for the help that you've given me, and I hope that your journey is less arduous than it has been. I'd imagine that you've seen worse than what happened here.
Yeah, quite a bit worse.
He nods and says, "Sadly, I don't think that wish will come to fruition for a while. So,
Wastes or anything, it's unforgiving.
at this, you start to see a shimmering of the barrier as it's starting to fade. So, as he looks at you guys, he says, if I survive this, I hope that we meet again."
Likewise.
And as you guys say your goodbyes, the barrier drops. He stands there for a moment, eyes closed. You can practically cut the tension with a knife. After a few moments, he opens one eye and looks around and is like, well, it's a start, I guess. Before
You're not dead.
looking around and spotting the Canterlot barrier, and says, I think I'll start in that direction, before trotting off.
Wait! Hold up.
He pauses
This
a
may not
moment,
seem-
looking over his shoulder.
This may not seem important, but I have books. You can have one. Here's some ink and some writing tools. Sometimes just writing can help calm your nerves and stuff when things get crazy, so these might help you along the way.
He nods and waves, taking the writing utensils and books. He waves a hoof before heading in the direction of Canterlot.
Be safe.
Everybody roll a quick perception. Moon, you passed that one.
Hey!
Okay. So, for apparently everybody but Argo, you notice, say, in the opposite direction, well, the direction you guys were headed, a series of lights that implies the camping nomads that you guys were headed for. So, you guys head for that camp.
Head for the camp. I see no other point to go for. And it appears our objective lies before us.
Okay. Well, I feel like that's a really good place to pin it.
Alright.
We're almost at 3 hours, so...
Dang.
Not the longest session we've had.
Not the longest, but it is definitely one of the longer ones, so... For those of you that may or may not still be watching, if you enjoyed that and would like to see more of it, don't forget to like, comment, ring the notification bell when you subscribe, and if you want to show more support to the channel, there's the Patreon, there's the channel membership, and any other kind of support is very muchly appreciated. It helps me be able to continue doing what I am doing. Other than that, we will be back on tomorrow with the Peacemakers of Equestria. They will be continuing the beginning of the end. They will be getting ready to face off against the final boss of the campaign. Other than that, everybody have a great... Oh, I almost forgot. I need to thank my Patreons.
Don't forget to thank the Patreons.
Yeah. Cameo Shadowness, Sawtooth Waves, and my Zealot tier, Ellis Xander. And if you want to get a shout out anytime that I do any uploads or anything like that, then Patreon is the place. So, other than that, I think that's it. Keep an eye out. We will be announcing the winners of the Discord community's art contest that was recently done on the channel. The first place winner will be at the end of one of the upcoming videos, and the second place winner will get a community post. So keep an eye out for those. Other than that, I think that is everything. So everybody have a great evening and drink water.
Water.
Hydrates.
Yay, hydrates.
Well, the bomb got dropped upon us all, and the list of all unknowns is tall. But if there's anything we know, our stubbornness has shown. We'll climb up after any fall. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. The leftover ashes in the sky, and the nations, all they do is fight. Yeah, the crown broke all our trust, so I guess it's up to us to save whatever's left of life. We know who we are, but we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came from. But we still don't know who named us. Yeah, we know where we are, but we don't know where we came